Baby yedri yedu state issues or ye Ghana ni ye ben pensem mu or ye do bokrata hodo a nde wa bogodri ye ba fa no mu stories ni bi na ye ahwezo or kodo wo mani mu na mempanyimfo nda wa ba kamensa wo nyina wonyim wondadam zozi kan or ye honorable Richard Suma or ye leading member for Movement for Change Yellow CC Afafranto he's also a marketing consultant na yankasa or ye yembra penyin or ye Mr. Aqua ono so waba kensa abugofo mo wona kwaba
yo heji so amfe
wana po me
oh bako yo say bo nyum na change level ti em say ti asen ko level no dey change and change ya
nda mama faza no oye nketesi wapeda wo wara asofo nom de ya na wo dress ata say ko chapra etwitwa kaba ama nsado akasa kakra wo skirt tintin aje wo heels bi kakra ha asofo no bo hu fast ma ze pen won sa ka nya mpa bon ko te bon pa na aye no hu
efata wo de wo seriously
the fashionista
okay mo mama fa birthday wishi fentwem iye from Odisheba Asante to Bafuo Kofi Nyinaku wa Samanka se Abuano Hene oya Samanka se Abuano Hen. Happy birthday to you. I pray for long life and good health. Motia dono iye from Cyril Hans and family. Cyril who's in his I am go for the pan sister be unto mbozi no wa hakra. Mpacho ye Cyril Hans and family to Cecil Harmony. Natural ones are why message. As we celebrate another year of life, I pray that God continues to bless you with good health, happiness, and fulfillment. May your dreams and aspirations become a reality, and may you always be surrounded by love, laughter, and joy and happiness. Happy birthday. Last one year from Kwabna Safo, Adepa, Nanesi, and family to Okatechie Kwabna Safo. Happy birthday to a king. Okatechie Kwabna Safo. May favor and luck lead you throughout your life. We love you. Happy +1. Your birthday messages are orichem. Na the broker ta yes and the national voice. The national voice. Or the national voice. Or Paul Chumberry man picture now wahadino. Also Paul Chumberry slams Mahama for failing to end Galamsey. Paul Chumberry slams Mahama for failing to end Galamsey. Abejofo Galamsey fight is ya then.
Maybe asamono ekeka akono. Emu eya yedin. Emu ya yedin ye papa. Na Paul Chumberry ekasa. Me hu ne say me bibia me mete bibia me fi. Se na madwen ye me no. Galamsey fight no. Enu kwan say ye slamming nipa baako.
Okay.
Ye de kwhye nipa baako.
One person should take responsibility.
Yes, Ghana asema to yen atoye nchema atoye. Ensuo no essay. Ye forest reserves no essay. Ye Ramsey site no mpo na nka no mpo ewo man mu ha so enye ne yehwe so. Na global international wise no. Eno so krampo so essay. They say ye nuanom kran so in our quest say ye benya egudie ne wo asase di mu no ye kunkun Ghana for baby asam na akakodu emu ayedin na ye nua Paul eka we a na from a background say edu baby na ebia obi nso sore ye ekasa asa wanhwe oman no enkoso wanhwe oman no yedie
okay
enti se na daachi bi ye kasa ye no ana ama emse ono so
kasi
because na say ye bebe ye elections previous government na do dan kwaku fado ne manfo eyo madwen say on be kon Galamsey no and it the presidency ne kran so eto
on the line
yeah build it up to 2020 elections no affecting all the Galamsey consensus ni na olusu olusu vote ni bi ewo ho from over 1 million votes no eso te ba 515,000 votes na or the win 2020 enti measures bebre order to tudwa na oguso a all fighting na then opposition party ana yenia ye papa Mahama edi anim na nkrofo so timi ko Galamsey site ho na yakohye yenia no kutupa say monye adwuma say ye ba ye chichemu kra ye wi yi mu nyina efri ho say yen say ye be say na sa say ye share na mo media for no so ebi so kota echiri ma na mo so omo share ye nuanam na omo ye illegal mining ene galamsey ye show mo chi ma afidi adu ba bia nema no aginsem ene nti mahama ejina SMP so o kan say mebre so no ba obe fight galamsey me hu ne say e ntem dodo for Paul chum so obe start akasa na so ye ba 2 months to 3 months nanka hu time say short but so the rate of and also the extent of distraction na afi my hu ne say 3 months bi access see the insu no ne asase essay and forestry commission guy ba kwa onu mpodi okọ ye say onu oboban na ohwe range ne so ye de sekan akodwudwa no sa Emma media for ebi ne ma babeka abisi ni pen say NDC executives fee ye galamsey ni bi ama a section of Ghanaians obi anso eka civil society organizations enne ejina ho eka say executives say ye wo NDC mu ye galamsey asofo ne asorema enne omodo mano esisi so say NDC for ye galamsey
nansi ya wobe ya
nansi ya wobe ya saa branti ya ana ne kasa no hu se no sikan enyo no gina wo se monko aboasefo monko pe mano aduane monko pe mem se nipa kakra ekowu ye ne ade nti se ye ne ye hwe ne se oman ne bibia kwakodu no se ye nyina ya ntrase na ya anye ya dwen se ye be ya enyeje be bi ka nsumpo ye nya bi nto ye be kai se ye humide mi hu ye se nkofo ko chichire nsuo ni bi from galamsey sites na mo be chira man for say TV so we dey nsuo aye different colors ni nyina ye wo man mu ha na ye hu ye afi mi hu ba kokra de ono do nsuo nim na nsuo no aye creamy aye brown na odin pan no na brodo ode bo nsuo nim na nyina no say stage in terms na mo no so na ma Paul so yes, our statement. No.
Okay.
Say because of the our kind demonstration our or actions no inactions no. Wo ba ye hu de ekoso no. Na ma na be kan sa. Ba me hu say nka ye mre kakra o say nyina ye twen. Na ye nyina ye de hu e ka hu bi ahemfo no titiri because obi be fi ba bi beba abaye galamsey. Na se wan hia ahemfo. Na se ahemfo ama na sase a me nje sure say ebe ye nti ahemfo ne policy makers no MC yenso ye ka ho bi emofra ne de oni adwuma ye na sa asase de da ho de a obekọ akọkọ ye bio nansen ye ba ye say me matisa ban we revoke all the licenses previous government no or yeah me un say previous government no on my license no said that obetimi now are regulative afi obetimi ehun some small tax bia o say won so tua no with me the tia na say in green Ghana na nanka o man no eye no ye de kakra kwakohye mu so mo say bi nanka ye dua bi se say aba na maba o man aban foforo ba ye revoke ni nyina ye revoke ni say ye be mafoforo and ye revoke ni say because of say previous government na ma nti I don't think me ntia say but ye hwe e bia na mahama ne na manfo no wo bibi foforo bi o mo de magana fo na ye say ya de tie dia na ye say ya nkwa mampo.
Honorable, what do you have to say about this fight against galamsey? In March.
Edi kind me share wa hwefo nyira any management of Kantanka TV production team ni nyira ase anopa we. The woman say sa galamsey issue we no according like the politics of the day no ama we are not able to fight galamsey no head on. Because one, if our society now a vast majority of your youth base they are unemployed, now share the lifestyle of politicians, any social media by any or social media, how majority of youth are being enticed. Some will live a flashy lifestyle. A flamboyant lifestyle for HSA. Yeah, I buy to me live this life. No, they be I baby job mu kwan keke no mu live life now. Me mintiasie. Entino politics na amase yen to me and looking beyond how I able to me a combating galamsey. What is all this galamsey about? You see, a section of society and now a section of the youth conniving with some Chinese partners, conniving with traditional authorities, omu invading ye forestries, nyami edi deposit of gold, edi atu hoamaye. And now the biggest mistake so I will say, share the loss of the land now. If today KANTANKA TV premises where yeti ene, now I see I bet discover gold waha. Do you know this place is to be for you? Automatically it becomes the responsibility of the state. Aban NLC or no be determine say obabe to gold no asasi wesu without consulting the owner of the land. So that aspect of our architecture now, say every territory that there's any mineral deposit, it is vested in the president. It must change.
Okay.
And no the basis for problem ahead ecosystem. So now there are communities that go ewo, but aban betimi atina Accra no one issue license. Say go into that community, go to that forest and go and do what? And go and mine there. Now say a crop for no, any ahimfo no. Do you know that every community has their basic needs and water, and schools, and health, and cola, and every community has so much that they need. But they cannot depend on central government say on solve your problem in Omo. And they say who opportunity to collaborate with traditional authorities so that if a mineral deposit is found in, let's say, Akwetia, it must be a 50-50 or 60-50, no 60-40, 70-30 kind of arrangement that the traditional authority has a stake in the ecosystem within that Akwetia community. No? Okay. But in this situation where the traditional leaders don't have a stake, you are there now. Obiabe money go no or money go no money decoa. What do you think you will do? You will not sit down for somebody to come and milk you dry, and then you are sitting there crying and leave you empty. Anything that most of the youth have decided to take it upon themselves, say, Omuan Kasa Kwambia Sunu, they will also go and dig for that gold. Because they feel they have been so full for long. Yeah. So that is the basis. So now, it all also boils down to creating sufficient jobs. Jobs, they said, if you look at the GTP planner, he had the plan, a plan. Ghana, we don't need manifestos. We need a plan, a working document. A working document, I will call it a smart document. A document that can be bounded with timelines. Say, within the next 1 through 3 years, so this is where we want to get to. But you see, they'll turn around and bring you manifesto that we are going to combat galamsey, we are doing ABCD, but do they tell us how they are going to combat galamsey? No, there be. And the apportum Oka say, Mahama is failing, and I say he has failed. Where is this argument coming from? Because obviously he's an MPP member. Say, or your MPP member, now he has been in this country for 8 years. They said, yeah, my senior brother is saying that somebody even put his presidency on the line. Then they see, saying, so what he's trying to do is that it's politics. He wants to be relevant. You see, I know MPP for no more who say they want to put this government on their toes, and they want to start painting this government so bad in the eyes of the people. So that people will say, so they are too about Bonnie. Mahama Kai so Babe combating galamsey. Want to me, yes. So the question is that if you had 8 years, you couldn't combat galamsey, you couldn't bring it to a minimum bearers level. I bet me I say this was the percentage of damage. But within the 8 years, some will take it over. No, you've been able to bring it to this percentage of recovery. then we will take you serious. But so now you have not made any intelligent contribution toward the combating of galamsey. Now in this situation, no, say, Mamonu vulnerable, none of my vulnerable. Now we are not Bejina say Mahama is failing. Now who are you fooling? And to know the Rebecca Chen who say, Obianya Butre, we can only measure the failure of Mahama at least if for the next 2 years. Now still the galamsey issue is still as it is there. And I say he's failing.
Not too far.
No, at least Muna.
I mean, peculiar to this galamsey menace.
Yes, Muna lawyers say as you they say what do you call it? They say sometimes we need to be very objective. Your presentation no more. Say nyamabi wo ho a ubetimi ahun the change of the water. And now the turbidity level of the water now is so bad now. We require more quantum of chemicals to process it into drinkable water for the community there. In the year, situation are very bad. But as it is now, no, we need to give the president ample time, kakra.
Okay.
Say, what take it power? How many months? Maybe barely 60 days. And yet January 7 I swear in. And we are in March. So March 7 made celebrate like about 60 days and yes so in April then he's making about 3 months in office. So why should you put a blame on somebody who is in government for 3 months to solve a problem that somebody had 8 years he couldn't solve? And Jaisa nkola politics no of deceit. Now we have all grown. So you cannot throw dust into our eyes with all this. And Ghanaians are widely awake. And Tinema will say, who can? You are only tarnishing your own reputation as Porchum, but you are not doing any harm to the president because we all know that it doesn't take a day to solve galamsey problem. It's going to take a couple of time. But the base is that amend that aspect of the law that vests every power or vests every mineral found everywhere into the hands of the president. Now, you know, he's trying to even do that to amend that aspect so that they take off that aspect of that executive power from the president. Okay. Say, a banner say, you discover minerals, it shouldn't be the president that will be sitting in Accra, issue license. The community must be participators of what? Everything that goes there. Anything I was for no more revolt here, no. Because when they even went to extract some soil, now the idea, no, it's an abounding concession. And yet concession, it's an abandoned concession by Ashanti, Anglo Gold Ashanti. So the boys don't have food to eat. They don't have bread. What do you want them to do? They should sit down. They should sit down. So Muma enjoy this game and create sufficient jobs for the people, bring the traditional authorities in, bring the religious bodies in, bring everybody in. As sorry be I work Ghana Biano, they must be doing public education. Yo.
The NCC as well.
And NCC, national budget. You see, Ghana, we are a country of jokers. Because you say you have a NCC, which is supposed to be your civic education agency. Budgetary allocation, have you ever seen budgetary allocation say the Sika with Emma NCC to perform duty A, duty B, duty C before? You only see the relevance of NCC when it's election time. When election is over, NCC is dead.
We have a long way to go.
Seriously, we have a long way to go.
We are proceeding with the informer, the Obokrata, corruption fight. Attorney General warns Mahama appointees. Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine. He's warning his own colleagues within the NDC fraternity, all appointees, ministers, CEOs, deputy CEOs, Osei. Sisia Morocco no MPP from Kotena. Net no overcast. He's going to spread his tentacles, going to cast the net so wide that past administration and incumbent appointees no one na. So what he or wabafo Master Akwa
waka no sade sanka na Ghana for enti se obetimi aye se ne osika na yedia nanka oman na nanka yeguso aye chichire no. But I doubt say Dominic Ayini say one will have that zeal no to be able to prosecute
his own people.
One na mfo a ne nuanemo a ono mo aben wo hwesa aben yi se ne city a se na yeka na Kwakufa do na aban say family and friends no saa nso hu kakra nso e wo ha nti ono ani nuane ono ana damfo no obetimi a prosecute ya so obetimi aye de anka ye pa na oba ye kra no nipa kakra na previous government no the idiom asem wo courts na nka
finally prosecute
those things yom nyina de om nyina asan ekofi om afom ho adi ebinom esika ekohye omajusuo ebinom de om de sika ekoyeye ni nyina ebaaye obeyom nyina de afro de asem no nyina de ache om so om nko no om nko fa sika no om ndi no om fa nto aso nya de om metimi aye na enum pokra no de obi po try ye say ode om be kona ya giska na ye prosecute om no enum po wa be ye fi ho de ko na afiance no bi de na obetimi aye so be ye de me de I think say a good call sanko betimi aboa na nka wetimi aboa o man ne saade a nka aden na so de o kan ne ya oye no I don't think say ne papa bakunya nansen abeya am say on charge ni mpo a wa ba public abi declare say edubu ahene dey say ye no crow say ye no crow I think say as age there all the instruments all the legal backing say obetimi a charge we o charge we ansa wa ba public no aba beye there was say we rather no I don't think say and I mean say na ye dey charge bi abon there charge bi a embo no to the extent say of we tukwan na wa ba na ubisiji on him watching the reason kwakosra no watching the lawyers for on grant any audience be am on ne clients no enkasa oba wa be press conference wo se wa yes jinsem no doso ni nyina achi no se sana ye no wo mamu hadea na ye ma rule of law enye adwuma na obi a be famra e de ahye ne nsem a e bia na me brother ne party movement for change baba be the next governance omo be be form next government omo so omo ndi achire egiche nkofo embutubutu nkofo mo bobbo nkofo se ya na egiche nkofo sa traffic bia yenye ne sa na se yenye ne sa enchirima ebe amanfo ye political science ebi enso esua adwuma akaka no mobile system no mu se ya ne be ye no I don't think say no kwan so I don't think so. The quantity some are okay there. Much ado about nothing. Me who be papa be a woman.
Honorable.
He
says he's going to arrest everybody.
No, I want to follow from where my brother ended. Say, yeah, politics na kasadani kokofu football. You understand? And a game, NDC can never tell me that they are a bunch of saints. And now a bunch of people who love Ghana so much that they sold their properties, sold their houses, cars, took loans, did everything to campaign to win power only for them to sit down and be clapping their hands. It is never true. And the Omu yet creating the impression that Omu Babe ye bibi sununku and not to be corrupt or corrupted in anywhere. It's a sham. It's a charade. Now, at least for once, we knew, say, Mahama, our power in the past, need our power and sana jeli abugapele.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that is the only thing they stand on all the time that to say, Mahama is able to prosecute his own people even when he was in power. So we can give them that benefit of the doubt. Say, Ebia, Obi NDC ni now is found corrupter. But you see, our problem is that Edu Buahin same way. Something I make yesterday on another platform that we should not leave anybody in public institution for more than 24 months. You see, show a Gina Faku chair, a bomb, it becomes stinking. So if you can put Edu Buahini since 2017 until the government exited here, yes. What are you trying to tell? I mean, you are telling the candidate we don't have brain, we don't have the brain, or we don't have the manpower. And it is only that Edu Buahini who has the technical knowledge and not the acumen. So Nube Timia serve as the CEO of that National Signal Bureau for as long as 8 years. He came 2017.
He was there from 2007 as a public servant and as a civil servant. And now already through the ranks. And then another now.
So by appointment.
By appointments.
Okay.
Mahama time, no a deputy CEO.
Okay. Okay.
Na
CEO.
No, na Dubai na osan based on the experience niti osan upgrading no promoting no.
Okay.
No be
Okay. Assuming that is the case. But all I'm trying to drive at is that National Signals Bureau, is it not a state institution?
It is.
It is a state institution. So my position is that to curtail corruption or to combat corruption, you should not place any CEO in. That's why even in the bank, by law, you cannot be CEO for any bank more than 2 years.
Okay.
Yes. By the Bank of Ghana law, once you are MD for a company of a bank, 2 years maximum, you are gone. Somebody must take over from you. Or it's an attempt to control the financial space.
Okay.
And he said, Obi, bet me rising through the ranks.
Now we're maintaining the position
for 8 years.
Okay.
Does that mean that in that National Signal Bureau, nobody also has the expertise as a Dubois to be promoted, for him to exit, for somebody to continue from where he has stopped?
So, 60 years into so what
can say, no, he's not an Article 71 holder.
Okay.
The position he occupies is not a statutory position. Rebecca said, until condition A, condition B, no, you cannot be removed. And the air can say, corruption is a cancer at the or my way. I must say wastage, adults will be brave. Corruption intina that whole na ku for 2.5 and dump $58 million into that. No, it was an avenue for corruption. The idea was not to build any temple to the glory of God. It's an avenue for us to create opportunity for some of our followers and sympathizers and contributors to also get something small from the national cake. And the catcher Attorney General, he said, this is approach of running to the press. He said, yeah, my brother is saying, you don't come to the press and declare the man already guilty. If you have any substantial evidence, say, it is not you, the Attorney General, who come and tell us through a press conference. You process him to the court. So if there is any information that emanates from the court, say, per further inquiries and investigation, it suggests that he has amassed a lot of properties for himself, then we take it in the face of it. But you have not even started the legal processes. You have not even taken the person to court. You have not even filed anything against him.
No charges yet.
No charges yet. And then you are running in the media. You see, NDC is playing on the emotion of Ghanaians because they know they've been given the goodwill.
They have.
They have been given the goodwill. So when person taking advantage of that goodwill, now omu with public fanciful activities to suggest that they are doing something reasonable, which is a false alarm they are trying to blow. And to the best Attorney General said, we will not wait until, let's say, movement for change come to power before they will start prosecuting NDC appointees. I only pray and hope that NDC is now made up of saints that at the end of their tenure, nobody will be corrupt. Which I sincerely don't believe so. So you should prepare very well that Obi Obisu or party numa the way all your press conference no on the same press conference and I see within the party no
we are hoping to see something like that.
Yes.
Let's proceed to the Daily Analyst. Over 1,300 ECG containers, no meters, so containers vanished from Tema Port. And here's the Minister of Energy, George Napo. Yesterday I saw him explaining this issue. But then, how possible is it? I mean, how can containers just get missing like that? Anyway, over how many excavators were missing? We've not found them yet. So I think excavators are much more huge compared to containers. But then, I don't think we are heading into the right direction. Mr. Apa, containers, 1,300 cities, not 10 containers.
The issue is not funny anymore. Where we're heading towards, it is becoming so abysmal. Say, well, can say, any meters, any phone say. Now one can say, I containers.
These are tangible, huge.
I think
things.
Enya space e wo media no. Eye abugina pona one ECG for CEO. And omukọ Almost some auditing. So mo koye den yo. No can say 3,000 of them. In a containers na. Wo ho no ma ECG4 ekraba ya. Omo anya sika ankwanko yi.
Ankwankofa.
Say na odintro as an honorable person. Ana se na o kan de egu aban dada no animu ase. 1 month echi ene say yesan call biom say kwaku taking inventory a. Ye call ya the aked 1,300 and I say Ira.
Until when you inventory, anybody who takes stock or something.
Container no send na sister Ken, and your phone number, and your telephone number, and your phones. Na waka so bit me at the association the bottom. Until ye wo Ghana hay da beni who say ye the container see twemwa na ye nyina ye hu. Ye nhwe ebia na abugina po wo kwan foforo bi so a. Em so a set committee. Also obehwehwem. Also be make sure say 1,003 containers ni nyina ebeba. Ni nyina ba.
Before he even came out to tell us, Opedo wancho nkobo hu water mapot or 1,300 containers.
But then he saw it when he went there. He saw it and no be can say obey a press conference say 3,000. So he saw all the 3,000 according to Abujinapo. And say ba say ye ka say we hu dia na oboa. Owo ho. Amukọ site survey. Nti we e no ye press conference 3,000 that then na mo say o man say na do dan kwakufu ado no wa ban adan na mwetimi akra yi 3,000 containers amuntimi ngi mfa so ben adwen ben mfa to use senseless adwen ben na wom afi 1 month after say wa call to o buy I say 1,003 ayra I think say AG esi obe prosecuting in Crawford dia ene ne no chen ya yes on start Abujinapo ene sa CEO na o hosisi ano ECG no afi dia ye ofi ho na nsenya the immediate one ofi one sa bakwen be dia na oye ne ho se na oye MPP ni na NDC fo so ba ya okoka che NDC fo so san ye NDC no o se ye hwe sa ono so yi na ye chi sa nipa miensen na ye biso mo se ye biso mo se containers no modify he e was
I think the port no one wash no it can be that one wash do na
Abujinapo be hu because Abujinapo call e no honorable Abujinapo call no say o kan makoma 3,000 and yes so there na e kamia ye say sana na brakan omo de Ghana fo adwen e diagro and yes Abujinapo ya honorable Abujinapo ya na be kan say John John Jinapo ya na be kan say previous government no e free so no na fuel a e wo mem ha yetimi use for 5 days
yeah
na fuel so yenim say wo kran so po a eteki be say 1 month po ansa aba nti say wo kasa ansem we na say wo sign kan say na say wan kasa na wonya nokwafo sa honorable na e da so no e kama say ya to chima kakra ye be sere no say ya to aba Ghana fo nyina akwako delay so to aba ma John Mahama na say wo ba be di o man so wo mfa no kredie Emma Ghana for kakra because we are okay there mo fra ya ye ne omo nkola ye mo GSS ne P4 ne P5 wo bi so mo asem ikra nti omo nya bi nka
okay
ababa ye ntwen ya o say wa set committee a obehwe bi container no e wo
Honorable Richard Suma 1,300 containers missing
yes
wobra okra
yes eye nna me ka de bia say corruption in Ghana no obi mu ka say Ghana eye crime scene Argentina Ghana a crime scene no I say even the punishment yedima obi a ya finding we sika krapo no
to motivate someone else
you say that's why the Asian tigers who ye hwanya kra they will hang you who ye hwanya and you are caught in corruption above certain threshold they will hang you publicly because you see every society omunyanka do misbehave. Abrochi obekwa abrochi mu say everything is in order no. It's not because they are different blood being a show mu. And also muma junu na different from Benin Jew because God created us all in his own image. That is what your father Osofo Kantanka has been trying to prove to Ghanaians that the black man is equally capable. Look, let me tell you, Japan after they were bombed, the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bomb, America dumped on them. What happened? Japan was reduced to Rambo. There was nothing there. They sent their young ones to London, to UK, to go and learn electronics. Okay?
Sure.
They went to study electronics and came back to what? Japan. Now Japan is the 3rd largest economy in the world. When it comes to technology, Japan is way ahead of what? China, even way ahead of the almighty USA. Because a deliberate plan say we are moving, we are dusting off all this trauma now to
love our country.
We love our country. We want to build a country that has a formidable base. That is what we call growing a country. Not this kind of country where we are only getting us sana election time ba na ya bob bakundechi sa onu free wa. Now we are always changing phones. We go to circle and swap the phones. That is what we did, changing NPP to NDC.
Necessary evils.
Two necessary evils. We are just swapping, recycling them. And what happened? If you are a country, Nana, now unim say, key subsectors of your economy is electricity. Without power, industries cannot operate. Without power, hospitals cannot operate. When was it not yesterday that a doomsday happened at airport? The whole airport was dark, blackout. And then we don't even have 100 kilovolt standby plant that in case of national emergency, now be all our power supply in offer, even planes cannot fly. So that tells us that ya join as Ghanaians no and your leaders are the Omasia Kunyano some leading no. They are leading us in a way that we are becoming a mockery at the international level. So now, as we see here, in the first place, Nana, why should containers belonging to a state institution called ECG, Electricity Company of what? Ghana, be stuck at the harbor and demurrage Suez and Chinu because we cannot clear the containers. And I see there is a cabia to Busumbiano, we do some allocation or declare containers, no. But what happened? See as you know, Sikabia needs fund number declare containers. That means government agency like ECG don't have money to clear their containers, so the containers are stuck at the harbor and demurrage Chinu. So where is our power as a country that we cannot say that anything that is meant for Kolibu, anything that is meant for Konfuanoche, there were some things belonging to Konfuanoche Teaching Hospital that were also stuck
at the harbor.
Also got stuck at the harbor. So who are we? Who exactly is controlling us? Are we becoming like some remote and somebody sitting somewhere is controlling us? And to the John Jinapoye can say, I will want to believe that he didn't get the accurate figure because it is difficult for you to do one visit to Tema Harbor and then they will tell you how 2,500 containers. Maybe that's the briefing he got, that this is the quantum. And he also hurriedly, they said they all hurriedly came to tell us that we have only 3 hours of fuel reserve. When he was questioned, he later on also said, oh, one can, sir. So I'm tempted to believe that if a briefing on Unya and we suggest this is the quantity that is hold up there. But upon further inquiries, setting up a committee to look into the issue and a revelation by and say some quantity of the container has gone what? Missing. And to the American say Ghana, whoever is listening to us on KANTANKA TV this morning, that let us restructure our entire governance architecture. Now, who says some state institutions, there are things, money or no money, it shouldn't stay there more than a week.
There should be exception.
There should be exception. There should be exception. That is even, Alan, we were proposing the last time that even this imported inflation in your back room, there are some essential goods that you bring to Ghana now. You should negotiate a certain dollar rate for them.
True.
So that if the thing is for the pharmaceutical industry, and now for the health, and now for agri, and now for say net dollar, no 17 CD, 17 to the dollar, you should negotiate it to around 15.5 or 16. So that at the end of the day, they will not be importing the inflation and tell us that because of the dollar fluctuation, it's na adiano omusu omutumu. So that we have these kinds of arrangements so that anything that belongs to the state, let us demonstrate that this country, Ghana, is ours. Other than say your own container for ECG, you will not be crying foul, say, and I had detaining containers. No, the shipping harbor, Tema harbor, no, mine. And your money there. So why should container belonging to ECG or Confanochi Hospital be stuck there?
There are so many unnecessary bureaucracies over there. Other than that, we shouldn't be experiencing this.
Come on.
And let's proceed to the daily satellite. That's about Dubois, we've discussed it already. So daily graphic, let's go to daily graphic. Education access increases steadily, quality trends fluctuate, GSS report. And now information are there. Or you see I called the second cycle schools now. Mesafo what is your word door so as a menu for your some dema the entire feminine society, feminists of no, and then why do be an inuaji. Because you saw for the over 100 years ago, the senior girl child to school years 29 until I would be wasn't any one more home was one for one mammies and my uncle school. First, there's no charming from putting in a whooping one. But then there was this massive education globally that women need to be educated. Or could you agree? If you educate a man, you educate one person. But if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. In the Ghana, we can boast the CCA baby a year dunese. Or in Miss Afon will go school. Mr. Aqua, how do you take this?
Nanka se na wo sika no se ye bema ye mofra omo ye mayoa no etime enye school no se na population no increase no. But I think say there's a more to it than just the figure and I say just the increment. Unum se ma de mo ho nsem no edoso kakra.
Especially during development.
Sa ye wo school na say memo ade baby a obenya bi akra betimi adware na wasore no ko na baby. Maybe 4 and 5, 6 crabiti ma shedan baku na omotimi ada. Bibia memo abitimi adware no. Ma ontimi gina ho adware. Nti say omo increase there na a cost for say be make sure say the necessary provisions and so abitimi eye amom. In terms of dormitories ne omo adware bata house ne e be ni nyina kama. Ede amom. Eno echi so support be na aban no ede emom.
She's also my pad.
Oh, okay. Say, you remember pad na say, my boy there, no problem. I think say pad no kwan so enya there. Obo pad ni wia, debe no be di. Obo pad ni wia, debe no be she.
Oh, child is like what to yan how do kakra.
Say, no be boa there. Then dey ebe boa man ni nyina no. Na ye nyina ye pe. Na say obo pad ni nyina wi na utimi wi school no so a. Na oba fi nso a. Nhihye ebe mpo na wo ma ye nua no emba yo ya omwe. What it means is say enchebia nipa bebre amoye ba no system no amegu system no a nhihye ben na ye de amom nipa kakra so betime atoaso na mako school we tertiary nipa kakra be wi a ometime ye national service kakra bi betime anya adwuma so aban foforo bi aba na waba be yi omo akokotena fi say nyo no form nti ono so be yi omo akotena fi na ono so de ne nkrofo enso aba ye ne sa na se be yi ya I don't think say any kwan so. Okay. And one say emofra no a omoye maria no e fine pa say yetimi epiam no moko school no. But I say there are a lot so into more it than say omoko school no keke.
Just the
infrastructures school no is so important. The aftermath from school no so say if o man so
the accessibility to job.
Say omenya adwuma wi na monya adwuma no wi kra bia na say nkofo enye maria bia na enya adwuma Sam George etiba bia osora na osake omo nye ayi bia na abaya omunya adwuma we sori na we yomadi we sori na modo munya ma na bi I think say emwa so we the minister and I say the ministry be ehye so na we minister there bibi krampo na say wonni ho adwen a wo frɛ nipa miensa bia e busuafo me bayi me ho say Ghana Post ya fanko for 3000 3000 ya phone yenso ye campaign no ya ka say be 24-hour economy nti say some me no way. So if I just oppose them, me be anything you be fancy. So when me nya adwen bi as a minister, e bia wadwen no bia na e wo no nti untimi entimi ndwen and as untimi ndwen beyond the boundaries a. Free nipa me nsa bia.
Okay.
Oh, wan kasa kra o kasa mu no say wife ofia, ono de nkwala na ohwe mu. Nti woni wife ene wo ba penin kra ntana se sasem we de ben na ye be ye no. Me beto nkwala 3000 e Ghana Post. Me hu de amedium be ye. nanka mo sa meeting we 30 minutes mo be wi no na nka asam kakra fu mo abase se mo so be 24-hour economy dia ene mo ma ebi mbra na ebi so mbra if indeed they am kan na a policy dia wonye no an se wo sakesake mo sa nkola nso ye ma omo awie school na se wo sake mo sa omo nkodo mo nkoye den ma no so ntwituo enkoye an robbery ana se maya omo ko SSA se nyame adom ndey omo nko galamsey site sana Sam Joy first of all, I don't think say any papa mo. Until I make say even though the increment is okay, but you ain't na position
come on. Okay.
Yes, my dear. What the headline says, the headline is saying that education access increases steadily. Quality trends fluctuate. You say education is not just about access.
Okay.
Ghana no man can say our educational system no poor. Our education is chill and poor mentality education na practice in Ghana. Say education as far as they are concerned is about access to secondary education. In jurisdictions such as Ghana, no, there must be a tailored, education should be tailored in such a way, say, identify, say, you see, that's why there are some countries, too, there is a good relationship between industry and academia.
Exactly.
Academia tells you that we have research to show that in the next 10 years, this is the trend. What you say? This is the global trend. Say, artificial intelligence, say, so they will tell you that is their projection. So,
an industry,
you must prepare yourself
towards
this to make sure say what this caliber of skill force say the demand of the change, you know. Then industry is also relating with academia. Look, in the next 20 years, you know,
we want to.
This is where we are going. So we want to produce more petrochemical engineers, mechanical engineers, aeronautic engineers, doctors. You see, you must have a tailored education. That's what China does.
China, which is well planned.
China no mo sorry keke say bia who ya collide no who suan bia boom together sao. From your early inception, you know, they identify your strength and know that who say no, you will be good in the area of automobile. So from the inception now, your training is tailored towards becoming what? An automobile engineer. So Obi and said he said now you see a beauty petroleum hub. It will surprise you that a beauty petroleum hub no we will import labor. We will import labor because we have not trained our people to become petrochemical engineers. We are training them to become political scientists. We are training them to become what we call them your friend example check for we put from example home economics. That is what we are training them into.
Home economics for that was.
We are training them in these areas. And you know, who share education from kindergarten. Education is about your tutor, the physical infrastructure, and then the curriculum ni na education here then AFA. And the American and say yeah education no. We need to go back and look at it from kindergarten through to JSS, through to secondary school, and to the tertiary. Okay. And then we don't have data HSA at the end of every year, no, 3,000 people graduate from secondary school. Do say in Eco University, do say in Eco Training College, do say in Eco say, and the Aka do say, so that we can find a way to integrate them into the system, into our education there. In fact, because education I practice it is about just raising your shoulders that I am educated. I am an educated person. I have certificate. Apart from that, it is absolutely zero.
Richard Suma. Here na mpese mo chato from the Republic Press. Now I know that ya nshada ya nti asemo ye de. yete na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was when petitions ebasa, and that he's forwarded them to the Council of State per the constitutional provision. No, there won't show. No, basam on a Republic Press working. Also, CJ's tenure hangs in balance as Mahama consults over removal petitions. CJ's tenure hangs in balance as Mahama consults over removal petitions. Well, on the share constitution, you can't just remove a CJ. You debut another anytime also no way for and now through petition. So man and penna will petition the presidency, now presidency so far forward or Zama or the Council of States. Now why don't you know why the way you need for home? But I don't know why all of a sudden and NDC baby no better way or yeah mammy auntie sabe for home. So Bakaya or yeah Ghana yeah first female Chief Justice or yeah her ladyship Theodora Georgina Wood. Yes. Also Bakane. Or really tenure, or really BB and Robert. Then when the NDC came after 208, there were pressures on her to be removed. But then she was not a pushover. And so cinema or there the time was saying. But the question that keeps begging itself is whether or not Auntie Saba can have that, can make that position, whether or not she can be strong and firm in the situation she finds herself. Mr. Akwa, this is our last discussion.
Very unfortunate. Auntie Sabaya Okan. So Oyoba. Tibina Yakan. Say, ye the man be school never banafe, ye be dio money say ya. Menim dia waye na some professor in charges be say why say and as why petitions no so okasa wa refer to Council of State no. Say ye nim petition be yes why den yankasa. Onye Ghana ni. Ana say
Professor Sari no be botum last year but ono so
no so why den.
Nkofo ka don should and hold the merit inti why there by enyim so cap that ma petition no za
anti entwen na petition kro no embra na adekode ama me na ye no
why bona why so much that she deserve to be removed
because me minim so oye Ghana ni minim se mo na mo media ni se ma hwe ni profile no so onye Ghana ni a mo me nka na enti senso ye say o ba yen Bible ni yen Quran na oba de o se wo ware baako menu se ne wafa Ghana fo mema me yesa na se nan a until say e be hu sa de ne de omo hwe ni ye na omo antempa
what is to be a bad
president oman no ya to aba e de ama oman pani Mahama se omra no be pia oman no enkodu ne mpempon so a baby previous governments no eja no so mra be pia ye mfa oman no enton che no oman no enye ne nko a ne dia nti ne bi a oye no onhwe ne ye ebedu baabi no obema Ghana mmabunu ani abre na mmabunu ebesori mmabunu mo ye mma ebesori protect omo mma protect omo right ye nhwe ne ye na me hu ne say target no kra na em say nye hanom na wo saa so no motata isi Jane Friends Jane Mensa na
Mensa
ono so saa na ye tata ne saa na me sure say ansa na betimi ayi isi boss no em say just be the petition ba na saa petition when instead of say you be refer to Council of State no you be refer to Chief Justice and say yi Chief Justice ne fi ho a na petition ne ba obetimi abeboa ye nhwe ye nyina ye wo memo ye nyina we are just here ye hwe de bisi
yo honorable Chisuma
just to make it snappy no we the mechanic say the Chief Justice position, no, a very sensitive position.
Very sensitive.
And any issue of the state, empanel judges, and yes, sir.
Sure.
Now we have seen the behavior and the characters of the previous government and how they actually even packed the High Court and the Supreme Court. And to top it up, Omusa appointed a Chief Justice. And who shared the Chief Justice Nankasa, like I kind of want to side with my senior brother, as Mamu said, an advocate for women to be placed in or to be maintained. But you see, Tokonusu Justice Chokonakasa by her leadership, no, she demonstrated some acts of biasness. She demonstrated some acts of the fact she was trying to protect the interests of the paymaster. In what
circumstances?
I am coming. Do you know that there were several instances where the opposition, okay, they'll make cases, they'll level certain cases, they take it to the Supreme Court. It is always 7-0, 9-0, 3-0. You remember that even Kandapa even came to say, Satan jet now they be out the Assembly Court, Supreme Court. Not even one judge or two judges who want to side or look into the issue from another perspective. Now they be a 7-0, 9-0, 3-0. We should be careful. So now that NDC want to combat corruption or they want to prosecute some of the NPP apparatus, you know, a very difficult for the sitting government to want to maintain a chief justice there if they want to combat corruption. And you know, the petition is just to say, understated incompetency or misbehavior or something. Those are the grounds that you can petition. And to say the panel or the committee is formed, it is the committee that will then not look into it. They will bring her in camera. She has the right to even have a lawyer. They will have a conversation. So if the conversation is in that space now to me defending her and justify all the things she did now, the Council of State will then not recommend to the president maintain her. But then she goes there and she's not able to justify some of the things she did, some of the decisions she took, and some of the people she empaneled. Now the idea they are, now they recommend that she should be fired. She should be fired immediately, and then they bring another one.
Paneling of or very delicate, but then as she said,
maybe my senior wanted to say something. Oh, maybe about 1 minute. Catch yourself.
I was say, or the case call now because of judges are why empanel on why bias near there. I don't think
people say we are being some level of bias.
Yes, we are being fair to her because in court, no, ube prove you. Yabama okwan ube file lawyers evidence to be proved. And some yabeka say and say. Now say
if you think there's any panel member that will bring some sort of a conflict of interest,
what I'm saying is that in the mind of the NDC. In the mind of the NDC, this is the basis upon which